and welcome to my channel. My name is Comfort. If you are new here, well, we'll have to see new faces. And if you've been here before, I welcome you with open hands. Please come through and let's talk about things that can help us to be ideal women. Today we are discussing a topic that's concerning work again. I know, right? We are talking so much. We are taking time to really talk about work because, we spend 75% of our times at work. And so it means that we need to be in a place that's conducive. So what are we discussing today? Today we are discussing a topic that is how to promote peace at work. And wow, peace is one thing that helps every one of us to work effectively. And when you are in a place where you are at peace, or there's some measure of peace, it helps you to work effectively, and you carry yourself in a manner that is going to make your work easier, unlike when you're in a place where there's no peace at all. So today we are discussing how to promote peace at work, and we just want to see just what are some of the things that we should do to help us really promote peace at work. We're going to discuss 5 points, and the first one is effective communication. Now, you agree with me that communication comes in all sorts of sizes and shapes and types, and it's one key point. Either it's a relationship or a job interview. If you're not an effective communicator, it's very difficult for people to understand what you're saying or to really get exactly the point you're putting across. So if you are going to promote peace at work, be an effective communicator. And that entails that you have to be able to speak in order for people to see and feel your emotions. You need to remember that people cannot read hearts and minds. They can't read your heart, they can't read your mind. The only time people have an opportunity to get to, peer into your emotion and peer into your thoughts is when you speak. So when you are communicating to someone, you're putting a point across, you need to speak in a manner or communicate in a manner that it will help the other person to peer into your emotion. Oh, so this is how she feels, or this is what she's thinking about this. That's your ultimate goal. So you're going to communicate with an ultimate goal of letting another person to really get to know what you are, what your thoughts are, and what your emotions are. So that means you speak clearly, put the point out there in a clear sense. And what I have noticed that really helps is speaking respectfully and communicating in a very respectful manner. And also that means being a good listener. If somebody is trying to communicate to you, they are either giving you instructions or they are giving you guidelines. If you are an effective communicator, you will take a second to listen carefully, and taking what they are telling you, you listen with your heart so that you can give feedback. Because if you have not taken in what they are telling you, you haven't gotten the point, it will be very difficult for you to give feedback. So feedback is only given back when you have really understood what you have been told. So 2 words. If you are the one who is communicate in a manner that somebody will be able to see and feel your emotions so that they can give you feedback. And if you're the one who is listening, listen in a manner that you'll be able to get feedback from the next person and be able to peer into their emotions. And so that if it's a conflict, it's a misunderstanding, or there are instructions given to you, you've gotten them clearly. Follow through when somebody is speaking. Nod your head, look at them, and give them chance to speak. If they're the ones speaking, if you're the one speaking, speak, give yourself a chance to speak, and then let the other person really get what you're saying. And this is very important because what happens is you would notice at work that there will be something very small that might take place between two people, and then because there was miscommunication, another person will maybe take it differently and react differently because they did not understand exactly what you said, and they didn't get what you really meant at that particular time. And that's why it's important to communicate effectively, because then you'll be able to let people know exactly what you meant. And if you're the one listening, sometimes it's very important for you to take a second and say, okay, so I want to understand exactly what you're telling me. Like, go over everything they have given you, they have told you. Okay, from what you have told me, this is what I have gotten. Is this what you mean? Is this what you want me to take up? If that's what they want, they'll say, oh yeah, that's exactly what I meant. If it's not, they'll say, no, 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 no. You have misunderstood me. This is what I meant. So effective communication will keep you away from misunderstanding. You'll be able to be a person who express themselves when you're upset, you know, because in workplaces we work with people that come from different backgrounds, believe in different kind of things. So it's inevitable to rub shoulders. When you do in that particular moment, when you're an effective communicator, you'll be able to communicate in a manner that is going to actually help them understand the point you're putting across. So, two things involved: be a good listener and be a good communicator. Listen with your heart and speak kindly and respectfully to other people. That will make you somebody who will be able to promote peace. Should there be a moment when there's a conflict, a misunderstanding, a miscommunication, you'll be able to resolve those issues very, very well, because you're an effective communicator. Point number 2 is professionalism. And we know that sometimes this is where issues start from. Um, I like this point because we all know what is involved in being professional. You have to be ethical, you have to be respectful. We go back to respect. You have to follow a dress code, you have to report for work or at the right time. You have to be able to follow instructions and guidelines as required at your workplace. Excuse me, as required at your workplace. Now, sometimes it's very difficult because, when you work in an environment, maybe you're there 2 years or 3 years, sometimes you kind of like take a step back and you relax. You start forgetting those things that really appears to be professional. If you're a professional, you should be able to know what you're supposed to be doing at what time. What should be done at this moment? What should be done at that moment? What should I be doing at this moment? And so when you are somebody who is professional, you know what, you try by all means to meet your deadlines. It's not always easy. You try by all means to meet your deadlines and to put in the work as it is required. So that will help you. Professionalism will help you, because then you will not be in a situation where there are always issues. Oh, you come for work late, or you haven't underdone what. Those are the things that will be, they're always speaking on me and whatnot. When in the actual sense, you're not just being professional. So one thing that can really help us, ladies, is to try by all means to be as professional as we can be. When we try to be as professional as we can be, that keeps us very far away from small conflicts and issues that can land us in moments where we are having issues with other workers, workmates, and things like that. The third point is my favorite, and this is setting health boundaries. Now, sometimes when we speak about health boundaries, somebody will be like, she wants to be stiff. It's not about being stiff. It's about you telling the next person, look, you're my workmate, but this is where you're going to end. The same applies to me. I am your workmate, and this is where I'm gonna end. When you set those boundaries, you are giving yourself a chance to be able to, push yourself away from certain situations. And one important, very significant health boundary you can set is that has to do with your mental well-being and your health, your emotional well-being. So protect your mental well-being and your emotional well-being. What that means is set boundaries. Don't let certain situations cross to the or get to a certain level that it's not supposed to. An example I can give you is if you've set mental boundary and emotion boundary, especially when you notice that somebody is saying things, there are people that have cutting comments at work. They don't choose what to say. They'll just abruptly just say, when you feel like, okay, I really do not like such kind of sentiments towards me, I am not comfortable with that. When you've set a boundary and you all kind of like, people know that, oh, with her, you can't go beyond that. She will not accept. So you have situations where somebody will speak so in a manner that you don't like. You walk up to them and, calmly, respectfully, you will tell them, oh, no, I am actually not very comfortable with you coming out in this manner. Please, don't you ever do that again. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with setting health work boundaries, because the thing is, that will actually help you remember that you are at your workplace. You are not at your home. You are not out for an outing. You are at your workplace. So it's very important to set health boundaries at work. If you don't like people addressing you in a certain manner, just come out and say, no, no, don't address me like that. Please address me like this. Those are boundaries that we can set at our workplaces. Even when it comes to, people calling you after your work hours, that's a boundary you can set. You're like, no, 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 don't reach me after 5 p.m. After 5 p.m., it's time for my family. That's a boundary you have set. Somebody calling you over the weekend, oh no, there's one. You can set that boundary and say, you know what? No, 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 no. Weekends, that's time for me to spend with my family. That's time for me to spend with myself. That's time for me to deal with my emotions. That's time for me to take care of other things other than work. This is not the only thing I do, remember. That's a boundary you can set. Somebody trying to they're trying so much to become personal and getting to know everything that you do in your private life. You can tell them, no, 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 no. You know what? No. Work ends here. And we're not going beyond. I'm sorry, but no, we can't go beyond. That's another boundary you can set at your workplace. That's our point number 3. Point number 4 we want to look at is one point that I really, really I have appreciated is be the kind of a person that promotes unity. When we go for work, we have an ultimate goal. And the ultimate goal is to reach, a certain target. So if you are a doctor, you work at the hospital, your ultimate goal, the reason why you go for work, your focal points, your main reason why you wake up to go for work are your clients, your patients. If you work at the school, the children are your ultimate goal. And if you are at the bank, you are a farmer, you are whatever it is you do, you have an ultimate goal. So if you've gone for work, ladies, please remember to just concentrate on work. And even when moments like there's a conflict or you've hate something, when you are somebody that promotes unit, you will do one thing. What I've noticed is At our workplaces, sometimes we forget. Remember, we spoke about effective communication. Some people forget that there's what is called effective communication and there's also what is called venting. If you're one person who promotes peace, when somebody steps on your toes or you have heard that something isn't going so well, if you're somebody who promotes peace or unity, what is going to happen is you will communicate in a channel that it's supposed to be or in a manner that it's supposed to be, and you will not just vent and complain and gossip about things. You hear this, you go and gossip, or you hear this, you go and vent on someone. Ladies, if you want to be an ideal woman, stop venting. Promote unity at your workplaces. And this is not something you are doing for somebody else. Promoting unity or doing all these things that we are talking about is for you to have a work environment that is conducive for you. A work environment that is going to give you an opportunity to be effective. If there's no peace at your workplace, you're always there and there are always issues, you're not going to be effective. So if you have to promote peace, be a person that wants to bring people together, that wants to see good in others, that wants to, if there's communication needed, you communicate properly, not venting. No, we need to stop that, ladies. We need to come to a point where we just want to bring each other together. And when we talk of unity and lifting each other up, and you notice that, okay, something is not well with my friend, you've noticed that, lift them up. And a beautiful example I like when it comes to unity and working together and lifting people up and carrying each other, taking care of each other at work is an example of a trampoline. When when children are jumping in a trampoline and then one of them falls down, if the rest of the children continue jumping, the one who's on the ground is not going to get up. The only time that that person is going to get up is when everybody else stops jumping, lift that person up, they all jump together. And that's how we need to be. When you're at work, it's not like you want to have everyone your friend or everybody like you. No, you just want to be in an environment that is conducive for you to work. And it all starts with you as an individual. So be the first person to promote unity. So be a kind of a person that brings other people together. Either you've noticed that something's not going well, look for good in others and pull them out. And if you notice that somebody has really done well, genuinely, walk to them and tell them, to be honest with you, I like the way you carried that project. What you did is really, really remarkable. Please continue doing it. That is one thing that is going to just help you have a good support system at work. Everybody will be able to see, oh, your ultimate goal is literally not to be liked by anybody, but to just bring people together so that you can all work together and reach your ultimate goal. Because at the end of the day, when you're at your workplace, you have an ultimate goal. You know exactly what you want. At the end of the day, you want to reach a certain target, and that's the ultimate goal. The last point that would help you to promote peace. Ladies, I need you to listen because I'm going to say this twice. Talk less and work more. I'm going to say that again. If you want to promote peace at your workplace, work more and talk less. Go for work and don't talk a lot. Reduce on the things you say. And I feel like this just gives you that, that mystery. When you talk less, there's that mystery about you that nobody else knows. They'll be like, why she was quiet? Or why doesn't she speak too much? Or why doesn't she say things? It's because when you work, your work does the talking. And your talking is very, very little. So if you want to be a person that promotes peace, talk less and work more. Because at the end of the day, you're going to work, unless your kind of work is like what I'm doing right now. Talking is what I need to do right at this second. So if your work demands that you talk, yeah, talk. But if your work does not demand that you talk less and work more. Because even the Bible says in the abundance of um, words, people err, people make mistakes. And that's why you hear, I really didn't mean to say that. Just don't say too much. So just talk less and work more. Because remember, when you go for work, you've gone to work. And our last point, this is a bonus, is one thing that is really, really going to help you to promote peace at work is being empathetic. When you are an empathetic person, you are a human being before you are a workmate. You are a human being before you are a boss. You are a human being before you are whatever it is that you do. So somebody who is empathetic, they are human first before they are what they are. What that means is either you are a boss, you hold a position, or you have workmates that you work with, you will first of all put yourself in other people's situations. Imagine how exactly they are feeling and what they are going through. And that is what is going to help you to be human first before you are anything else. And what that means is you will try. You are one person who's going to notice that, I don't really talk much with this person. I don't know so much about them, but they don't look okay. And then you will, and especially if you hold a position, this is very essential. Be a human before you are whatever you are. This gives you an opportunity to observe and see, oh, she doesn't look okay. This is not how she looks all the time. And then you reach out and then you get to listen to what somebody's going through. And even when you notice that they're not being as effective as they've always been, you'll be able to say, oh, I see, I think this is the reason why she looks like this, because you were human before you were anything else. So if you're going to promote peace at work, be human, be empathetic. That will help you to be a human being first before you are anything else. And when you're a human being first, you will put other people first. Be like, if I don't want anybody to say this to me, I am not going to say it to another person. If I don't want anybody to do this to me, I'm not going to do it to somebody else. So be a human being first before you are anything else. That helps you to imagine yourself in other people's situation, and then you're moved to do something about it. Ladies, we can talk all day about promoting peace at work. And remember why we are doing it. The reason why we want to promote peace at work is because, hey, we want to work in an environment that's conducive. We want to wake up in the morning and go and spend 75% at our workplaces and be able to do it. We're not there for 2 hours. We're there for 8 hours. And we come back home and rest. Some of us even carry work. So you are like almost 90% at your workplace. So the only thing you can do is promote peace. And ladies, it starts with you. This is what I thought we should talk about. It's bye for now. We'll see you in the next video.